Capitol, meeting with Senator Amy Klobuchar. And as we walked here, Senator, looking some of the beautiful parts of our Capitol, noticed a couple pictures of wolves. And one of the things that we always talk about endangered species is making sure that we protect the habitat we've got for endangered species, but also let farmers and ranchers be able to grow food for the rest of the world.
Exactly. And by the way, you may be the only one that said you noticed pictures of wolves. People mention like, George Washington and things like that. But in fact, there are some pictures of wolves. And I feel very strongly that we need to delist these wolves. I've made the effort before and we actually won. We got them delisted, and then the court threw it out, and I think it was a wrong decision. It's being appealed, and we're pushing to get it changed as soon as possible. We have enough wolves. The whole idea of the Endangered Species Act is that once you have enough of a species, the species goes off the list of endangered species. It's that simple, and they are eating they are eating cattle, they're eating moose. We're starting to have moose problems. They're eating dogs. I mean, it's a major problem.
Another thing in agriculture, it's so important to add value to the products we raise, whether it be through animal agriculture or through the biofuels. And we've had some kind of exciting news here lately about biofuels. That's nothing new to Minnesota, but going to get some help now from USDA and as we look at more blender pumps.
Exactly, and that's something Senator Thune from South Dakota and I have tried to get funding for that forever, and we now have private-public partnerships where we have a number of our companies across the country who are in the biofuel business who are starting to fund some of these along with the U.S. government. And I look at it, if we build those pumps, they will come. We're going to get customers, and we know that we've reduced our dependence on foreign oil because of three things: fuel-efficient cars, more oil production in North Dakota and other places, but also biofuels. It's now 10% of our fuel supply, and you want to have it be a viable option competitively, which means it has to be available, and the blender pumps are really the more sophisticated way to do it.
You can't be from Minnesota and not talk about H5N2, the avian influenza, bird flu, whatever you want to call it. And we really appreciate your help getting that message across to those not in agriculture that understand this is not a food safety issue, this is not a human health issue, this is a foreign animal disease. Devastating, but talk a little more about what's happening with that.
Well, I think in terms of the people understanding it's not a food safety issue, I think we've done a pretty good job. If we remember what happened with our pork, and people got really scared about that and other things for no reason at all. And we've really gone through that, and we know the public's starting to understand that while you can have these things called avian flu, doesn't mean the people are going to get the avian flu. And I think that's been good. Our big problem, of course, is hoping that this does not return as we go into the fall here and into the temperature changing. We had major hits in Minnesota, but we made sure the USDA helped to fund our producers when they were having problems. That's the whole idea of the Farm Bill, and Secretary Vilsack came through on that.
Well, we appreciate all you do for agriculture. This is Kevin Paap, Farm Broadcaster of the Day, with Senator Amy Klobuchar at the U.S. Capitol.